If you're ready for the black and gold to take care of business tonight, let me hear you make some noise. Oh yeah, now it is a party. So for those of you that don't know, my name is Arthur Moats, retired linebacker of the Steelers. Appreciate you. And I will be your host for tonight's interview. And let me just say, I'm super excited to talk to this guy right here because he came into the NFL in the 2014 NFL Draft when the Pittsburgh Steelers selected him in the first round, the 15th overall selection out of the Ohio State University. And after coming into the NFL, he enjoyed a 6-year career all here in the black and gold. And during that time, he played in 46 games with 41 starts. He had 7 interceptions, 7 forced fumbles, 7 sacks. Don't forget them 299 tackles. Oh, yeah, he was a 2-time Pro Bowler as well. So, without further ado, make some noise for my guy, number 50, Ryan Shazier.
I appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
Being that we are in prime time, you played and made plenty of plays right out here under these lights. Just talk about what does it feel like for you being back out here on a night like tonight?
Man, I love primetime football. Like, even when I played, so many guys were like, I like the 1 o'clock game, I get home early. I'm like, I want everybody watching us. I'm trying to get the dub in front of the whole world, letting them know that we the best team in the country, you know? So, man, I love primetime. I love this primetime matchup, 2 of the best teams in NFL history, and we got great quarterbacks, great defense, man. This is gonna be a great game.
No, you're absolutely right about that. Now, obviously we could talk a lot about that, but we gotta talk about you. And we always hear about high school football, right? Where it started at for certain people. But you played in Florida.
Yes, sir.
Talk about Friday Night Lights down in Florida. What was it like from your perspective?
Friday Night Lights in Florida is really different because everybody trying to make an argument why their state is the best state, especially when you're in the NFL. Guys are always talking about it.
VA.
But what I gotta say is, every single week when I played in high school, I went against someone that was either going D1, big time D1 ball, like Alabama's, Ohio State's, the team up north, or, you know, they're in the NFL. Like, I played against Geno. I played against Geno. I played against, you know, some of the receivers that's in the game nowadays. You know, Patrick Surtain played against the high school with me. James White played against him in high school. Well, Patrick Surtain is younger, but like that's how it rolled. And to me, it's just to be able to play against guys every single week that can go to the league just like I could, man. It was awesome. So there's a lot of big time ball out there.
No, I love that. Now I'm hearing the people in the crowd hollering OH, and we know that's what happened right after high school. So talk to us about that high school recruitment process for you, and what was it that made you decide on Ohio State for college?
So the thing that's so crazy is Urban Meyer is very involved in this process, because when I was in high school, I got offers my sophomore year in high school. So pretty much my sophomore year all the way to I was about to go to school, I was committed to the University of Florida. So I was committed to the University of Florida for like 2 years. And then I was one of the guys that went to college early. So with me going to college early, I had to go to school in January. Urban Meyer resigned from Florida in December 15th. So when he resigned, Ohio State and LSU were both at my school, and I had 2 weeks to decide what school I was gonna go to. And I visited LSU, and when I went to visit LSU, I was like, man, this is the best place ever. I had a great time. Students was on campus, the weather was good. Man, I had a great visit. When I visited Ohio State, it was actually a terrible visit because it was in December. I'm from Florida, so when I left home, it was 75 degrees. When I got to Ohio, it was -4. So, and all the kids were gone on campus. They were on quarters, not semesters. So all the kids left school around Thanksgiving. So it was nobody on campus. But I just really enjoyed my time there. The guys I got to hang out with, I felt like they resembled me. It kind of seemed like guys that really cared about ball and nothing else. And then when you play at Ohio State, if you're a starter, you have a legit chance of going to the NFL. And I was like, man, this is the best spot for me. And that's why I ended up going to Ohio State. Unfortunately, once I got there, Coach Tressel had the whole thing go down, and he got let go. And then Urban Meyer was my coach the next year. So it was like I still ended up getting Urban, but I just, at a different place. So it was pretty dope.
No, that's awesome. And like you said, man, when it's supposed to be, it works out just like that
You're
right
right
there,
about that.
man.
You're right about that.
Now, you go to Ohio State, and you ball out. Don't take long, but now it's time for the NFL draft. Take us through your thought process in terms of the decision to enter into the draft, and more importantly, did you know the Steelers were going to be drafting you?
So I definitely didn't think the Steelers were going to draft me because of Coach Butts. When I came on my visit to the team, he was like, Ryan, I think you're a great player, but I think right now, like, I don't even know why you're here. We're not going to draft a linebacker. This is what the linebacker coach said. So I was just like, all right, that's kind of crazy, but I was like, I'm not going to the Steelers. And but my whole process, when I was at Ohio State, my second year, my sophomore year, I ended up having like 143 tackles. I had a really big season. And I was like, if I have anything close to this, I'm probably going to leave for the draft. So I told my parents, if I put my grade in and it says you're going to go third round to first round, like the lowest I can go is third round, I told my parents I'm going to leave. So I had another good year. I ended up going consensus All-American. And then I put my grade in. In my grade, it says the worst case scenario, you're going to go in the second round. So I was like, all right, well, like, I love you guys, but I'm going to have to go to the NFL. So I ended up running my 40. I ended up running a 4.3. And my agent was like, Ryan, like, you're most likely going to go in the first round. And after I ran my 40, I couldn't do any, like, whenever you visit the teams, you work out. I couldn't do none of the pre-draft workouts because I pulled my hamstring. And so when the draft came, I was like, I'm probably going to get drafted around where Pittsburgh's going to be at. But I felt that I was the best player in the draft, and then, like, I was like, I'm probably going to go 15 or later. So so at the draft, everybody tried to look good, but I ended up buying some shoes that was too small. So at the draft, I had my shoes off pretty much all the way into the 14th pick. Around the 15th pick, I put my shoes on, and my phone rang. So my agent phone rang, and he's like, hey, the Dallas Cowboys are drafting you at 16, but the Steelers were at 15. So I was like, oh, snap, I might go to the Cowboys. My phone rang, and it was a 412 number. And I knew it was Pittsburgh because I had teammates from Pittsburgh. And then they called me, and Mr. Rooney and Coach Tomlin was like, hey, you ready to be a Pittsburgh Steelers?
Let's go. Let's go. I'm glad that the right number called your phone, all right?
You're right about that.
Come on now. Now, not only do you get drafted by the Steelers 15th overall, but you do something that not a lot of players ever do, and that's start as a rookie under Dick LeBeau for the black and gold. Talk about what that experience was like for you and just some of the pros and cons of that early opportunity.
Man, I'm not going to lie. It was very, I'm not going to say overwhelming, but it was very much a surprise to me as well. And the reason I say that is, like, when I went to Ohio State, I didn't go to Ohio State expecting to be the starter. Like, I could have went to a lot of other schools and started as a freshman, but I was like, hey, I want to get better and work my way up and learn from guys older than me. So when I got drafted, I was like, I'm not expected from the first day I get there that I was going to be the starter. So Moats was there as well, and he was in the same linebacker room as me. And the first day I got there, they was like, Ryan, you're going to be the starter. I was like, oh, snap, like, the NFL is different. And I knew I got drafted first round, so I knew I was going to be playing a lot eventually. But it was funny because I was the starter, but I also was in control of the play calling. So my first day, first practice, I'm telling Troy, Brett Kiesel, James Harrison, Ike Taylor, we're hey, Sam me 33, or like strong right, cover 3, and they're over here like, no, dumbass, strong left. like, hey, because in college, your strength of your formation may be the wide receivers because it's so much spread ball, while in the NFL, the strength of the formation is the tight end. So then when you go in nickel personnel, it changes. So like little things like that, it doesn't seem like a big deal to me now, but coming in and still like not knowing everything, and then I'm telling guys that know everything, hey, what to do. The first year, it was a bit of a struggle, but it was nice to have those guys telling me what's right and wrong, but it also made me grow really fast. But it was nice, and it helped me understand the game a lot more.
Yeah, and you talk about growing fast. We fast forward to 2016, and you make your first Pro Bowl. Take us through what that was like for you, and more importantly, what the game experience was like as well.
Yeah, man, like that year was crazy. And the thing that's really awesome to me most is like, you was with me the whole time. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you seen like me from like when I was a true rookie to like when I made the Pro Bowl that year. I would say the biggest change in me that year was just the discipline I had and the work ethic I had on the game. I went from watching film here and there to I was one of the first guys in the facility every single day. I used to watch 3 hours of film before we even went in 3 hours worth of meetings. And I used to just constantly work on my body and take care of it. And it was really funny at first when I started watching film. I was like, man, like the game is becoming a lot more simple. But then I started watching so much film, it almost felt like I was Tony Romo out there, like, hey, the defense, they're about to run this play at this time, and it just kind of felt like I knew what was going to happen on a consistent basis, and it was really nice. After we ended up losing in the playoffs, they called me and was like, Ryan, you had a great year. We want you to be a Pro Bowler. So then when I went down there to Orlando, it was really a blessing because I actually got to spend time with Richard Sherman, Von Miller, to play against, have, DeCastro already be there, but hang out with some of the pros like Bobby Wagner and those guys that I wanted to compete with, Luke Kuechly. It made me feel good because it felt like I was on my way up. But then it was also just to learn little insights that they taught me that I was able to use the next year.
No, absolutely. And you think about it, 2017, you start off out the gate on fire. And obviously we know we get to December 4th, 2017. You have the injury. Just take us through what that process was like and the recovery from it as well for you.
So 2017, like I was saying, I pretty much did a rinse and repeat of 2016. But in 2016, I was like trying stuff out. In 2017, I knew like, all right, this is what I need to help me, but also to try to be the best leader for our defense. And so I always just, like I was ready, and I felt so great in that moment. When December 4th came, it was really crazy because the week before we played the Packers, and we played the Packers at home. We ended up winning the game, and I ended up spraining my ankle, and I didn't play the whole week. We practiced that whole week. So when the game came, and it was a game time decision. I was ready to play. I was ready to go. I ended up playing in the game, and I actually had 4 tackles in the first drive of that game. I'm like, oh, this is about to be a great game. And it was a routine tackle, a routine play, one I did 1,000 times in my life before, but this time when I made a tackle, I just didn't get up. And the one thing I would say during that whole process is that the team, my family, and myself, we were still consistent. Everybody believed in me, believed that I can get better, and constantly was on top of me about working my tail off and just knowing that everybody should leave, that I was gonna get better, that I would go out there, work my tail off, and just rehab. And I didn't have anybody in my circle that didn't believe that. Everybody, every time they came to talk to me, always felt, Ryan, you got this, you got this, you got this. Even the ones that didn't feel that way, they didn't show it to me. They always made me feel like I can overcome. And the belief in them me trusting the Lord, and then me constantly working in rehab every single day, nonstop. You know, I just got one first down after another, and you know, I went from moving a toe to moving my foot to moving my ankle to being able to step to being able to walk, and I just constantly kept my head down and kept the same circle around me and the same people around me and the team around me, and I was able to overcome, and it was a blessing.
Without a doubt. Hey, and it was amazing to see you overcoming to where you are right now. And with that, though, you're not just doing it for yourself. Talk about the Ryan Shazier Fund for Spinal Rehabilitation, something that you also created post the injury.
Yeah, so when I was going through my rehab, a lot of my rehab I did at the facility, but I did a lot of rehab also at outpatient. And when I was at outpatient and inpatient, sometimes I would see guys that I would be doing rehab with every day, but I would see that they weren't progressing, but they would have to go home or they would get out of the hospital. And most would tell you, sometimes I was asking questions when I was in the building. I already knew the answer, but I'm going to ask the question. And I started asking, like, why is, you know, Sam or why is Mike not in rehab anymore? And they would tell me that sometimes people didn't have the insurance or they didn't have the resources to get more rehab. The average person gets 30 to 50 sessions of rehab. That's the same amount of rehab somebody would get if they broke their wrist. You know, so as I continue to get better, I started to talk to people that was close to me about what are ways that we can help others that are dealing with similar injuries get more opportunity to get better. I just don't feel based off of your insurance plan or your resources if you get better or not. I feel like everybody should have the same opportunity. So I started Ryan Shazier Fund, and you know, we give out stipends to individuals with spinal cord injuries. And this year, it's been our 5th year. This year, we surpassed over $1 million of stipends given out, and it's been a blessing. But I wouldn't be able to do it without the support of so many people, and just everybody just understanding that no matter what you go through, no matter who you are, we all should get the opportunity to get better. And I truly believe that, and that's why I started the fund, to be able to allow people the same opportunity of independence that I got, because everybody's isn't the same. You know, some people may want to walk again, but some people, they just need to be able to get around. Some people need to get out of the house. Some people need to be able to take care of their family and their kids, and walking might not do that for them, but other things can, and that's why I want to be able to do that.
Without a doubt. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And that's what we talk about, man. On and off the field, doing it the right way, man. Now, last year, 2024, you were a part of this coaching staff. On the offensive side, though, man, if you could talk about what that was like also, man, being a coach after spending so many years playing. Obviously, we know what you did prior to coming to the NFL, but transitioning to that side.
I would say when it came to coaching, it was really a cool experience. And the reason Coach Tomlin put me on the offensive side of the ball, because Coach Tomlin is really big on putting people in places that they haven't been and helping them grow in that. It's really harder to grow in a place of comfort. So when he put me on the offensive side, there's literally nothing over there that I knew. Like you think you know stuff, but I didn't know. And then we had a whole new offensive coordinator that came in. So learning new terminology, understanding route concepts, understanding play concepts, blocking schemes. Like on the defensive side of the ball, I understood blocking schemes, but there's so many blocking schemes that we have, and that so many blocking combinations that on the defensive side of the ball, I didn't know. So to be able to go out there and see that, learn that, I really feel like it helped open up my eyes when it came to football, when I already thought I knew a lot. But then when it came to something may happen on the field, or we might be watching film, Arthur Smith may come to me and like, hey, Ryan, like, what defense is this, or what are they doing? And I can help him as well. I'm like, they're doing this, or they're doing that, or just say, hey, Arthur, I'm gonna be honest with you. That guy fucked up. He's not supposed to do that. You know, so it's just, it was really cool to be able to get a perspective on both sides of the ball and be able to understand it. So like, it's funny because when I go to practice now, sometimes I spend more time with the offensive coaches than I do with the defense, because I was with them all last year. You know, so it's kind of cool. I feel like I live in Switzerland. I'm kind of like in the middle now.
No, respect on that. And shout out to Coach T, man. Always thinking forward, finding ways to challenge us. Now, I got 2 more questions for you before we get up out of here. But I gotta ask, because throughout your career, you made a lot of plays. Splash plays, big hits, turnovers, you name it, you were part of it. But what would you say was your favorite play from your professional career?
So when I played, my favorite play was always the next one. You know what I'm saying? But I would say I would say the most impactful play that I made was when we played the Bengals in the playoffs, and when I ripped the ball from Jeremy Hill, when Burfict, he caught an interception, ran through the tunnel, they thought the game was over, and I ripped the ball out. Boz went down there. This is Boz's first year on the team. Banged the field goal, and we go to the next round of playoffs. I would say that was the biggest play in my career.
A pretty epic night. And
Yeah, that was a crazy
that's my
night.
personal fave as well. I'm glad you did what you did that
Yeah,
night.
I appreciate
We appreciate you.
Yeah. Hey, that made everybody's pockets a little bit fatter. You know what I'm saying?
You better believe it. Now, the final question that I have for you. We always talk about that moment when we realize we are not in high school anymore. We're not in college anymore. This is the big leagues, the NFL. And we typically talk about that moment, most of the time not being our most savory moment. But we typically call it the welcome to the NFL moment. So if you could, talk about your welcome to the NFL moment.
I'll say my welcome to my NFL moment was my first game. And it's not a play like I got ran over or like somebody was too hard to tackle, but it was a traditional play. The Cleveland Browns ran an outside zone play, and when they ran the outside zone, I tried to so one of the skills that I had when I played was that I was fast enough to go behind you, slip you, or go over top of you, or you think I'm gonna run past you and I thud you. So one of the things I try to do, I try to outrun Joe Thomas, but he grabbed me on the zone play, and I tried to get off of him, and he made me feel like I was a little kid, and I was like, man, I couldn't get off him, and he trying to drove me to the sideline. He didn't drive me to the bench or pancake me or anything, but it was really the fact that I could not get basically he let me go when the play was over when he decided the play was over. And I was just all right, I'm damn sure not about to let another grown man do this to me again. So it kind of made me understand he's out here taking care of his kids. He want to win just as bad as I want to win. And that's when I really was all right, Ryan, you got to figure out something, because you can't allow somebody to touch me like that again. Yeah. And I'm not going to lie, there have been other plays where guys have gotten the best of me, but that one woke me up to say, hey, these guys are wanted just as bad as me, or they care just as much as me. So it happened very early in my career, and from that point on, I was just I'm going to give the respect to the guys that the respect is due. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, but I'm with you. Don't let another man grab you like that again.
Yeah.
But that will conclude tonight's interview, so please give me one more round of applause for number 50, Steelers legend, Ryan Shazier.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you.